Welcome to GemWeb blog. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to create menu using JMenuBar, JMenu and JMenuItem class. Now we'll discuss about what is the purpose of JMenuBar. It is used to implement the menu bar that will be displayed on a window or frame. When you talk about hierarchy, JMenuBar has been derived from JComponent package. Next, we'll discuss about the purpose of JMenu. It is used to implement the menu that will be deployed in the menu bar. So, whenever the user clicks the menu in the menu bar, a pop-up window which contains menu items will be displayed. So, when you talk about the hierarchy, JMenu has been derived from JMenuItem package, which in turn it has been derived from abstract button package. Now, we'll discuss about the purpose of JMenuItems. This is used to implement the menu items. Whenever the user selects this menu items, the action will be performed. When you talk about the hierarchy, JMenuItem has been derived from abstract button package. Now we will start with step-by-step procedure to create a menu using these three classes and its corresponding methods. Before we enter into the creation of menu, we look into the basic code to perform this. First, you have to include the necessary package and then you have to define the class. So inside the class you have to define the constructor. So inside the constructor we have included the code to create a frame and display it on the screen, and then inside the main we have called the constructor. Now we'll start with the creation of JMenuBar first. So for this you are going to use JMenuBar class. JMenuBar MB is the object name, equal to new JMenuBar. So it contains only one constructor. So we have created it. The menu bar has been created. We are going to add that menu bar into the frame using add method. Now you could see the menu bar has been inserted into the frame. Next we will discuss about setJMenuBar, which is the method of JFrame class. What is the purpose of this method means? It is used to set the menu bar at the top of the content pane, which will be fixed. So using add method, we are adding the menu bar into the frame. Here setJMenuBar, which is used to set your menu bar at the top of the content pane. Now you could see the difference between these two. setJMenuBar has been set your menu bar at the top of the content pane, whereas the add method has been inserted your menu bar as one of the component of your frame. Now we are going to set your menu bar using setJMenuBar method. Now you could see the menu bar at the top, which will not be visible. Once the menu has been inserted, you can able to see it. Now next we are going to discuss about how to create the menu using this constructor. Now we will start creating the menu. We are going to create two menu, menu 1 and menu 2. So JMenu M1 equal to new JMenu. We are going to use the first constructor which receives no argument. So now in order to set the text on the menu, we are going to use set text. So M1 dot set text of menu 1. So once you created it, now we are going to add this menu into menu bar. So the sequence is menu item has to be added into menu, menu has to be added into menu bar has to be inserted into frame. So once I created, I am going to add MB is the object of menu bar. So we are going to add this menu into menu bar. So add of M1. So once we created the first menu, we are going to create the second menu M2 new J menu. Here we are going to use the second constructor which will receive string. Here we are going to pass the string as the argument. Now we have created the second menu. We are going to add this menu also into the menu bar. Add of M2. Now we have completed creating the menu. Third option is you have to pass the string along with the boolean. This boolean indicates whether your menu is tier of menu or not. We are going to apply this option for this demonstration purpose. Now we are going to check. Now you could see two menu has been created and it has been populated into menu bar. Now the add function belongs to J menu bar. Using this add function we have added the menu into menu bar. Now we are going to look into the creation of J menu item using this constructor one by one. Now we are going to create menu items. Item 1 equal to new J menu item. We are going to use the first constructor with no argument. So we are going to set the text for first item. Set text of. So the item which is coming under first menu will be menu item 11, menu item 12. The item which is coming under item 2 will be item 21, item 22. So item 11. Now once the menu item has been created, now we have to add this menu item into menus, not into the frame. So for this you have to use the object of menu. Now I am going to add this menu item into the first menu. So M1 dot add of I1. I1 has been added into the first menu item. Next we are going to create the second menu item using the second constructor. Second constructor you are going to use the icon. You are going to pass the icon. So new image icon. So ensure that the image is available in the same folder. So once it has been created, now I am going to insert this menu item also into the first menu. So item 2. Next, third option is we are going to pass the string for the constructor. So for third item we are going to pass the string menu item 13. Once I created, we are going to add this menu also into the menu item also into the first menu. So I3. Next we are going to use the fourth constructor string with icon. So here I am going to create the fourth items string. Since I am going to add this menu item as the menu item of second menu, so I am naming it as 21. So the second you have to pass the image icon, new image icon of .jpeg. So once I created, I am going to add into the second menu. So I am using the object m2 dot add of I4. Next, fifth way, you are going to set the mnemonic of the for the menu items. So again, you are passing it as event dot vk underscore I am using it. Okay. So whenever you are using this event, you have to include import java.awt.event method, event package. So once I created, I am going to add this as menu item into the second menu. So m2.add of I5. Now we have created 5 different menu. First with the default constructor, then image icon, then string with image icon, then string with mnemonic. Now we have added this menu items into the menu also. Now we have created it. We are going to compile it. Now you could see 3 menu item has been created. One using default, then image icon, then using string, then string with icon, and then shortcut key, the I has been underlined. Now for demonstration purpose, we are going to replace everything with the string constructor itself, so that it will be a uniform. Item 1. So I'm going to create 5 menu items. 1, 2, 4. So I'm going to name this I2, I3, I4, I5. So here it is. Since I'm going to add it into the first menu bar, is I1, I2, I3. This is I'm going to add it into the second menu bar, I21, 22, 23. Here it is, second menu. Here I'm going to add into the I3, I4 and 5 into second menu. Now you could see first menu contains 3 icons. Now you could see the first menu contains 3 menu items and second menu contains 2 menu items. Adding the menu item into menu, we have used this add method which receives menu item object. So instead of menu item object, there is another method of JMenu which receives string as an argument. So you can able to add the menu into the menu using this method also. Now I am going to add the third menu items using this option. So instead of creating the menu object, you can able to directly add the menu m1 dot add of, just passing the string. This will add the menu items at the end of the menu. So whenever you are passing the string as an argument into the add method, that menu, we are going to compile it. Now you could see the menu item I4 has been added into the first menu by using the add method, which pass the string instead of menu items. Now we have added, this is the another way, by passing the J menu items into the menu. Now for demonstration purpose, this is the menu we have created. We have created 2 menu 1 and menu 2, and we have added 5 menu items 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. These are the menu items of menu 1, and 2, 2, 1, 2, 2 is the menu item of second menu, and we have added everything into the menu. Now for demonstration purpose, yes, we are using this, and for menu also we are using the same constructor. Now your menu is ready. We have added menu bar and set it 2 menus, added it 5 menu items and added into the corresponding menu. You could see 2 menus which contains 3 menu items. Second menu contains 2 menu items. Now you could see the various method of JMenu bar, JMenu and JMenu item class. First menu item, we are going to return the number of menus in the menu bar. Okay, so get menu count will display the number of menus in the menu bar. So mb dot get menu items. mb is the object of menu bar. It will return the number of menus in the menu bar. You could see the number of menus in the menu bar is 2. It has returned the value 2. Next, get menu. If you want to extract the menus which is available on that menu bar, it will extract it. Now we are going to extract the first index menu, that means second menu, and here this will extract all the information. Here you are going to extract the text of that particular menu. Menu 2 is available at the index 1. Okay, so it will extract all the information of the menu 2. Now using get text, we have extracted only the text property. So menu 2 is the text property of that particular menu. Next, we are going to enable the border painted property, so that when you set the border, it will be able to set this. If this property is not set, means you are not able to set the border for the menu or menu items. Now the property has been set, it will return true. Now we will set the border. Okay, if you want to set the border, you have to create the object for border class. Okay, and you have create the line border with red color, and you have set it using set border, and whatever the border has been set, we have displayed it using get border, and we have set it. Now whenever you are using this border class, you have to include the package java x.swing.border of border. Import java x.swing.border. Now you could see the red border has been set around the menu bar. Now we look into the methods of JMenu class. So get item count will display the number of menu items in the given menu. Now we are going to display how many menu items is available at both the menu m1.get menu get item count and m2.get item count. Now you could see the menu item contains 3 menu items. Second menu contains 2 menu items, 3 and 2. Next we are going to extract the items that is available at that particular one. First we are going to extract the items which is available at first menu items under menu 1 and second menu items under menu 2. So you could see it extracted all the information. So we don't want all the information, just we are going to extract the text alone. So for this I am setting I'm extracting the text using get text. So you could see the first menu items of first menu is 1 1, it has been extracted, and second menu of second menu is 2 2, so it has been extracted and display it. Now if you want to make a menu to be selected, okay, you can use set selected method, and if you want to ensure that the menu is selected mode or not, the selected is used. Now we are going to make m2 as in selected mode. So m2 dot select set selected as true. You could see by default the second menu has been highlighted, which is in the selected mode. So since it is selected, it has written true in the console. Next, it is a top level menu. This method is used to ensure that the given menu is a direct child of menu bar or not. So for menu which is available in the menu bar, it will return true. If it is a sub menu, okay, it will not return true, since it is not a direct child of menu bar. Now for M2 and M1 is top level will return always true, since it is a direct child of menu bar. Now M2 is the direct child of menu bar. Now for this demonstration purpose, we are going to add the submenu. So how we are going to add the submenu means, I am going to make M2 as the submenu of M1. So instead of adding this into the menu bar, I am going to add into the M1, so that it will be a submenu of M2. Now we will check. Now M2 has been added as submenu of M1. So for M1, since its M2 is a submenu of M1, it is not a direct child of menu bar, so it returns false. Now we are going to insert the separators. Now I am going to insert the separators for menu 1 at the index 2. Now you could see the separator has been added at the index 2. Next method is we are going to add the separators. Now what is the difference between insert separator and add separator? Means insert separator will insert the separator at the particular position. Add separators will add the separators at the end of the particular menu. So you could see the separators at the end of the menu. It will append the separators at the end of the menu. Next we are going to discuss about how to insert the values or menu items into the menu. You can able to insert in two ways, either by creating the menu items or by passing the string. Now we are going to insert items at menu 2 and also into menu 1. Now again we are going back to this. We are added the menu 2 into the menu bar itself. So in menu 2 we are going to insert the menu item new at the position 1, and in menu 1 we are going to insert menu item 2 at the position, same thing, same position, same menu name, menu item new. Now you could see menu item 2 has been inserted at the index 1. Same here also menu item 2 has been inserted into menu 2. Next we are going to discuss about how to remove a menu item from the given menu. This also can be done in two ways, by providing the index value or by menu items object. Now we are going to remove the menu items which is available at the first index from menu 1, and we are going to remove the menu items of object I4, which is nothing but first menu items of second menu. Now you could see the menu items which is available in the first index has been removed, and the first menu items from second menu has been removed. Now if you want to remove all the menu items, means removal is used. Now we are going to remove all the menu items from the first menu. Now you could see all the menu items from the first menu has been removed. Next, how to enable or disable either menu or menu items. Now we are going to disable the menu item 1 and then first menu items in the second menu. So that is I4. Set enable is used to enable or disable the menu or menu items. Now you could see the first menu has been disabled, and the first menu item in the second menu has been disabled. Thank you.